Hey, everybody, it's Jaret from your favorite band, Bowling for Soup, and may the rock be with you.
Jared Reddick, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Good to see you.
Same. It's been a long time.
It has, I guess, since Soundwave, right?
2014, where I think I'm still hungover. So yeah,
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, that one would do it.
good times. But mate, of course, we are here because you are back with May the Rock be with you. It's been a long time since you've actually been on the site, so it is lovely to have you back, and it's so good because you're coming back to Australia. So we're very, very excited about that.
Yeah, us too. Yeah, it's been a long time for you and I, and gosh, man, just as long since we've been to Australia, and we were supposed to head back, or we were making plans to head back, and then that pesky pandemic hit and derailed everyone's plans. And so finally, we're on our way back, and I feel like this trip is setting us up to for it to be a little bit more frequent from now on.
Excellent. We love that. So for someone who hasn't seen you guys, it's been 10 years. What can people
Mhm.
expect when they come and see a Bowling for Soup show?
Well, I mean, first of all, no show's ever the same. We're not scripted in any way, so unless it's an album tour, which we just did for the first time, we're not even following any set list. And so everything that happens, in between songs, steering songs or whatever, you just sort of never know. So to honestly, what you can expect is to leave with a really big smile on your face or your cheeks hurting because that's what we're there to do. Have a good time, make people smile.
It works too. It's just the best. Now, when you do a festival set compared to your side shows, which you are doing, how do you shape them up? There must be a festival set compared to a headline set that you have for the fans, etc.
Yeah, in a festival set, obviously you're limited on time. And so we have to be a little bit careful as far as how much we talk in between songs. And you want to make sure that you get, the four or five that everybody demands to hear in. And then after that, a surprise here or there. The side shows are quite a bit looser. It's a lot more crowd interaction and just a little bit more off the leash, I guess you would say. And so there again, I don't really even have a favorite because they're both fun in their own way. I sort of enjoy the shot out of a cannon festival show because you're there and it's just such an adrenaline rush. But again, I do enjoy being able to just sort of break off of the flow and just pick out an audience member or something and just have a go at them and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to all of it.
Excellent. Now, you said before, leaving the show with a smile on your face is the greatest thing, but it is just a delight seeing your shows. Now, we get to see you up on stage, but what's your favorite thing to see from the stage looking at us?
Ah, man, mouths moving that know the words to the songs. I like watching all mouths move, but it does make me a little uncomfortable when they don't actually know the words, and so I try not to focus on that. And so, no, but man, I just watching people sing along, watching people smile, watching people sing along. Just I'll tell you another thing is, one thing is we're currently in the middle of the Hangover You Don't Deserve tour, which we're taking a break from to come to Australia. We're playing the hits over there. But seeing people out in the crowd singing along, but singing along together, like you just know these two friends had it in their car going to and from school or going out, on Friday night or whatever, and blasting every song and just the connection that the songs make between a few people and just being able to look out from the stage and see that is it's magical because we all have that, we all have those songs and those friends. And so for me to be able to look out and see people actually experiencing that feeling to something that I had to do with is pretty special.
Awesome. I love that. Now, you did mention it is the Hangover You Don't Deserve 20th anniversary. 20 years, man. Now, like I
Yeah.
said, 10 years ago, I got a hangover I did deserve. And I want to know, has there been a time you 100% got a hangover you deserved, and when was it?
Man, this is the honest truth. I swear to God, I'm not pandering. It was on that trip and it was in Australia. And what happened was you guys have this restaurant that's there. It's a chain. It's kind of like Chipotle burritos, but they sell margaritas at the place. And I don't know what it's called, but Anyway, it was $5 margarita day. And so we sat at one of those places and drank margaritas for hours and hours, and they ran out. And so we were okay, we'll walk back to the hotel with our tail between our legs. But our sound guy looked on his phone. He goes, "Hey, there's another one of these 2 blocks away." And so we went over there. And so honestly, that is the last time I have ever had a margarita. I've not had a margarita since I drank one 10 years ago in Australia, for Christ's sake. And I live in Texas, which borders Mexico. And we literally, margaritas are on special in every restaurant here all the time. But that was the most hungover I have ever been in my life. And so great question, great timing. And I'm not going back to that place.
All right. Well, just drink beers when you're here, mate. That's easier.
That's my plan.
All right, excellent. Now, seriously though, let's look back at the album because you're coming off the back of Drunk Enough to Dance, which was the break for you guys, if you like. What do you remember most about going in to make an album, knowing you have to sort of hit that home run with it to keep it going?
Right. Well, so I tell this story on the tour. The good thing for us is that we had already released Let's Do It for Johnny, which didn't do all that great in the States, but it did pretty well in the UK. And then we did Drunk Enough to Dance, which did well for us everywhere. Had a couple of hits, got nominated for a Grammy. So going into Hangover You Don't Deserve was our third major label record. And so honestly, there's that whole thing of like, it's the sophomore effort that is the hardest one to get past. And so maybe being a little naive, I didn't feel like I had a lot of pressure on me. Because it was our third record, and all of a sudden, okay, here's a little bit more money to go make the record, and we're going to put a little bit more into promo, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And so we honestly just went in and made the record that we wanted to make. Even the label was sort of hands off as far as, song selection and stuff. And so I remember just being really comfortable. And maybe that shows. I mean, maybe that's the reason why, because it's definitely a Bowling for Soup record front to back, and one that like I remember I think I wrote like 60 songs for it, and we voted for the songs or whatever. And then there were a couple where I was just like, but I'm the president. So, and but for the most part, we went and made the record we wanted to make as a band. And so, it still stands up. I'm super proud of it. There are nights when we're playing the whole record, and the show is an hour and 45 minutes when we do, where I'm like, they were right. We should have cut some songs. This is way too long. But I think that's the 52-year-old in me speaking.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, what about when someone like Mitch Allen, you've got a song like 1985, and it comes to you guys, and you hear it for the first time, and he basically says, well, that's you guys, you have that song. What's your feeling like when you hear that song for the first time?
Yeah. So, and if you want to hear the full story, it's pinned to the top of my TikTok. But honestly, I was unsure. And I've made no qualms about it. I think maybe it's because I'm the writer on everything else that we do, and then that, like, I can't hear a hit. Like, they all sound great to me. Like, every song, every Bowling for Soup song, I'm like, why doesn't everybody like this? And so I liked it, but I was just like, I don't know if I hear it. And so it was really listening to it later on in the day, after several beers, in our little room that I wouldn't call it it was like a extended stay hotel. So like there was a little kitchenette in it. And Gary and I took another listen to it, and he was like, dude, this is pretty great, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, right? And so, for me, it was, I was so happy that he said, you can do with it what you want. Like, I think the general idea is a hit. I think the pieces are there. Just do it. And so I got to take out a few things on there, honestly, that weren't things lyrically that I would say. And, very subtle. I mean, the song itself was there. And, I think it was just great timing. And so, yeah, I came around fairly quickly, and obviously it became our biggest song.
Yeah, well done. Now, as you know, we are connected through Butch Walker. Now, every single chance I get, I like to ask about working with him. So have you got a story that working with Butch, and the best one you've got?
Man, I'll tell you this. I think the thing that I like to say about Butch is just, he's first of all, he's just a special human being, and he's such a nice person, and he's very, very good at what he does. But as far as the producer thing, the things that he does, and the thing that he taught me the most is he had a line that he used to say, making records is easy and fun. And I've said that now for what, 25 years, since working with him for the first time in well, that's terrible math, 22 years since 2002. But making records is easy and fun, and so the things that he would bring to the songs were so subtle, and just he didn't come in and like try to rewrite our stuff or try to get his name stamped on every little piece and all of this. He came in and he was like, this is, this shouldn't start like this. This should start like this. And you'd go, oh, gee, or like you should change this one lyric to something else or something like this. And he'd let you figure it out. So I just, the guy is considered a genius by musicians for a reason. And but I the thing that I hope that everybody realizes about him is that he is just such a special human being and just a really nice person. Like it's crazy to me that to this day, as much as he's done, that I can text him and 20 seconds later he's responded. I mean, like there's not a lot of people at his level that you could say that about. And so I hold him very, very near and dear. I talk to him as much as humanly possible, with us both being as busy as we are. But I learned a lot from him.
Excellent stuff. Love that. He is a good dude. The Marvelous Three shows were amazing last year. I flew over for those. They were outstanding. But
Yeah.
now, looking back over your career, it could be very easy to say what can change over time. What's the one thing, though, that's always remained the same about Bowling for Soup?
That it's the overall, I guess what you'd say, mission statement. That that when it's fun, we'll stop doing it. And the times in which things got pretty heavy on a personal level, not between us, but within the band, in 2013, we took a break, and it was the smartest thing we ever did, and y- that's just been it. We stay the course, we stay who we are. We haven't tried to reinvent the wheel, and it's still that. If it starts to feel like work, then we're doing something wrong. Not that that's a little bit misleading, in that it oftentimes feels like work, but it's that we enjoy it. So if we're not having a good time, if we're not enjoying ourselves, we do still take a step back and go, okay, what's wrong? What are we doing that isn't right? And we've just always been great about that. And that's definitely the still to this day, we're the happiest we've ever been, though, Chris is in recovery from some surgery, and possibly, working out some other things health wise. But as far as our band and the rest of the band and crew, though missing him quite a bit, it's such a happy camp right now.
Yeah. Is Chris coming down, or is he still recovering at home?
Chris will not be there. He cannot make that flight as of right now. He had surgery on his foot, and he's got some other health things that they're having to address. So it doesn't look like that that it will be anytime soon. But that we aren't putting any pressure on him. It's dude, whenever you're ready, when your doctor says it's okay, your spot's here. And if it takes years, that's we're not filling that spot. So you see the three of us. Trust me, everybody out there who's listening to this right now, it sounds amazing. Like, we have gotten such good compliments of how it sounds as a three-piece. And so though you will miss his hijinks, it's going to be a blast.
Please send him my love, man. He's one of the most generous, beautiful humans in the world.
I agree, and I sure will, Troy.
Excellent. Now, what I always do is we look ahead to the future with a prediction. So I want you to finish this sentence for me. In 2025, Bowling for Soup will.
Work on new music.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
Yeah, but we're also going to play a bunch of shows. So like, we're not slowing down. It's a really good time to be in a pop punk band, and especially one that's been around since the beginning. And so we're honestly having the time of our lives. So, I expect it to continue to be busy, but yes, I am making myself and my band and the fans a promise that we'll be working on new music next year.
Very, very nice. Mate, I can't wait to catch up with you down here in Sydney. It's going to be a good time. We'll definitely have a couple of beers.
Sounds great, Troy. Talk to you soon,
All right,
man.
mate. Thanks, buddy.
Always a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you for checking out our interview with Jaret from Bowling for Soup. Please like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for much more content. Check out maytherockbewithyou.com for all your interviews and music needs. And make sure you check out Bowling for Soup at Good Things Festival and their sideshows. They are one of the best out there.